welcome today to this wonderful and beautiful edition of our program, You and Your Family, with me, Evangelist Mrs. Faith Okafor. This program has been running over time and it has been the best program that you can ever watch. It's a family program. It puts you together. It makes you to understand some real facts you need to know about yourself, about your family, about the people around you. And today we are coming with a very wonderful topic that will change and transform your life. And this topic is a universal topic that affects everyone, both great and small. It can affect people in their working relationship, it can affect people in their marital relationship, it can affect people in their day-to-day running with people. As they meet people every day, they need this issue that we're going to talk about today. And today in this episode, I want you to make time be fully part of it, invite people and stay tuned with us. Thank you. We'll be right back. Yes, you're welcome back to this wonderful episode of our program today. And in this episode, we're going to be talking about a very crucial topic. Yes, trust is a topic today. How to build trust in your relationship. In this topic, we're going to be talking about how to build trust in your relationship with your friend, how to build trust with your relationship with your boss, your subordinate, your spouse, as in marriages, how to build trust in a family, maybe between among siblings, or maybe between you and your parents, how to build trust in everything you do, especially in marriage, because we find out that the issue of trust has actually affected so many marriages today. And every marriage has this building block, a foundation, which is called trust. If every relationship will actually work out well, trust must be the foundation of that relationship. And in this program today, we're going to be detailing on how to build trust, how to sustain it, and how to make it to work in the relationship, how to inculcate it, and how to do it in a way that you'll be able to build it over time, and how to make sure you have trust in your relationship. In today's episode, we're going to be defining what trust is. Remember, I am your anchor, Evangelist Mrs. Faith Okafor, and this program is You and Your Family. All right. Today, we are handling how to build trust in your relationship. What is actually trust? Yes, before we define what trust is, let's get on this. A lot of people in relationship find it difficult to trust each other. Sometimes they don't know they're having problem with trust issue. Some persons who are having trust issues don't believe they have trust issue. So they don't understand what is going on in their relationship, but they know they're in trouble. They know there are a lot of things that is not working out well, and they actually need a solution, but they don't know the cause of their problem. But today, by the time we are done with dealing with how to build trust in your relationship, you understand what is actually your problem. Yes, what is trust? Trust is actually a feeling of emotional, physically or psychological security generated by what? By consistent character. It is a feeling of emotional, physically security, which is generated over time by a consistent character. It means that trust, it is generated and is built by the character of the other person. It is a feeling you have emotionally. Sometimes you have this feeling, you can't really explain what it is. You can't even define what it is. But you know you feel it. You understand you feel it. When you trust somebody, you know you trust the person. When somebody don't trust you, you will also know. And when you don't trust somebody, you will also know. It is a feeling. Sometimes I want to describe it. I want to let you know that it is a physical, it is an emotional, it's a psychological thing about security. With people you trust, you feel free with them because you trust them. And you can't just trust people without them generating it. Most times they generate it with their character. And not just generating it with character, but it is something that has run over time by consistency. Being diligent with that character, it is happening over time. You begin to trust or you begin to distrust. If one must trust you, must have a consistent good character. If one must distrust you, it means there is a inconsistency in your good character, or inconsistency in the fact that today you are doing good, tomorrow you are not doing good, and they begin to trust. If they can trust you with something good, that you always keep making it good all the time, that is where trust comes into play. And in a relationship, a day-to-day relationship with people, with friends, sometimes we find it difficult to maintain a relationship due to trust. And most time we enter into long life relationship, which is marriage relationship, without considering the issue of trust in that relationship. Yes, it's very, very important. No matter what you have built for years, trust can destroy it. I want to tell you that trust is very, very easy to build. It takes a long time to build it. It's not very easy to build it, and it takes a long time to build it. But it's very, very, very easy to destroy trust. That means that trust, you can spend years to build your trust in someone's heart, to build a trust in someone's heart about you. But just in a second, you can lose the whole trust you have built over years. But it's very, very essential in every relationship, and that is what we're talking about it today, because you need it in your relationship, in your day-to-day running with people, because you must meet people along the staircase. As you're going up, you meet them. As you're coming down, you meet them. And therefore you need trust to be able to have a cordial relationship, to have a committed and intimate relationship with people, a wonderful relationship that will work out well, that will give you a positive result. Trust is needed. If you must have a good relationship with your children, there must be trust. A lot of teenagers are having problems, youth are having problems with their parents. Why? They discover there is no trust in the side of their parents towards them, so they feel like nobody. Okay, in this issue of trust we're talking about today, we want to discover what are the things that could be happening around you that will make you to know that you have an issue with trust. Whenever you feel like in your relationship, you hold a remote to monitor what this person is doing. Monitor your child to know where your child is going. What is she watching? What is he going there to do? What is he doing by this time? Are you sure he's safe? Are you sure he's not doing something wrong? It means that you're having issue with trust. When you find it difficult to stay at ease without being hypervigilant towards someone, you are not always on edge because of somebody is not with you. You always want them to be around you for you to know what they are doing at a time. You want to know where they are going to. If he's your husband, you want to know where he is. If he's not with you, you're already thinking, am I sure he's not with one lady out there? Am I sure he's not going to go and dash out all the whole money that we have out there? This person's house by this time. You're not always trusting where he is. It means you're having issue with trust. When you find out that when your spouse or somebody around you hurts you, they make a mistake, something that is very genuine mistake, something anyone can do, anyone can, or even you can fall into such a mistake, but you find it very difficult to forgive them, it means you're having issue with trust. When you find out that you're not always at ease, you find it very difficult to flow, to be vulnerable towards the love you have for someone. You're always reserving. You're always trying to hold your heart. You're trying to hold your heart so that it does not leave you. It means you're having an issue of trust. When you find yourself in a relationship, every time you are struggling to hold your heart back, I don't want to let loose this love before they will crash and break it. Maybe because you've had heartbreak in the time past, you've had relationship that never worked out well. Maybe you've heard of things happening to your friends, closest friends, things you thought is going to work out, and along the line it scatters because there was no trust. There was a problem. Then you begin to affect your own trust in your own relationship. If you're somebody working for someone, maybe because somebody did a lot of work, maybe because of one mistake, the person was sacked, you begin to find out, let me be working and be believing that then I can be sacked, and it will not make you now, you no longer trust the work you trust your boss, because you believe any moment you can be sacked. So because of that, you find out that you may not be giving your time, your attention to what you do. You will just feel, anytime I can be sacked, so what's the need of killing myself for this? And when you start having issue of trust in your relationship, love is always in a coma. It's a language that I always use. Yes, your love will enter coma when there is what? Distrust in your relationship. When there is issue of trust, you begin to discover that your love will be alive. It's not dead, but it's in coma. It doesn't move, it doesn't talk, it doesn't act, it doesn't walk, it doesn't show. It's there, but it's not active. Your love becomes inactive, becomes dormant. It's as if it doesn't exist, but yet it still exists. And what trust can do. That is why they said love is trust is the foundation of every relationship that will ever last. And now when you have issue of trust, you find out that when you are with the person, you feel as if the person is not there. You feel the person, you are with somebody, you are with your spouse, especially your spouse. You are with the spouse in your house, but you feel as if that person is not even in that environment at all. Because there is no connection, yes. It destroys connection. It destroys the bond that bonds you between, that bonds two people together. Trust can, when it's not there, it can break the bond. What causes this causes issue of trust in relationship? When lie enter relationship, distrust is inevitable. When people begin to lie to their spouse, to their partner, they will no longer trust them. Remember I said trust can be built over years. Let me tell you, you can be telling the truth every day, but any day you lie, it can affect the whole truth you have ever told all the years. It can make the person start to look at you with one eye. Because the person has believed that you cannot lie. Now, for you to be able to lie, it means that you can still lie in future. When lie enters a relationship, the person doesn't even know whether to believe you or not to believe you. That is why trust is very important. Another thing that can cause trust not to be in a relationship, trust issue in relationship that you can have with your children, maybe your husband, anyone around you, maybe in your working place or the place where you live, your spouse, your parents, your siblings. One of the things that can also affect trust, that can bring the issue of trust between you and that person, can be what? Infidelity when it comes to your parents, when it comes to your husband, your spouse. When infidelity creep into relationship, trust begin to have issue. Even if you have done it before once and you beg for forgiveness, you tell the person, I will not do it again. For the fact you have tried it once, it will be telling the person, if he can do this once, it means he can as well do it again. Especially when the person has trusted you over time. Now catching you with a woman, whether you have done it or you are about to do it, it can affect the trust of that person. It's not a bad thing for someone not to trust you, but it's a bad thing when you refuse to build that trust back again. That one lose trust in you is not the person's fault. It must be your fault, because it is in your hand to build trust by consistency in character. If you are called to the woman today, I think the best thing is for you to do what? To see how you can do what? To measure up, to make sure you prove to that your partner. Even when the partner is not trusting you, keep building the trust until one day he will begin to trust you because of a consistency in your character. Infidelity is very difficult. It's very, very dangerous. It's very, very dangerous. It can destroy trust. A lot of people find it very, very difficult to trust again after infidelity creeping into their relationship. I think we'll be hanging it on here. We'll soon be right back in a short moment. Please stay tuned. We're going to continue with our infidelity in relationship, how it affects trust. Thank you very much for being with us. The Lord will bless you as you stay tuned and hang on. We will be right back. Thank you. Yes, you're welcome back to this wonderful edition of You and Your Family. Today we are handling the topic said that said how to build trust in relationship. And now we are being on the part of this topic that is telling us things that causes distrust or trust issue in relationship. We're talking about lie, we're talking about infidelity. We were talking about infidelity before we go on a break. And now infidelity, yes, we're dwelling on it. Infidelity, it has destroyed unfaithfulness, that is unfaithfulness in relationship. Infidelity must not be when you sleep with another partner. Infidelity must not be when you are found romancing with another partner that is not your spouse. Infidelity starts little by little. When you begin to keep late at night or begin to go and visit one lady, you begin to make one kind of call, you begin to hide and do some kind of things that is not really okay, and your spouse is not comfortable with it. Before you know it, it can build a trust issue in your relationship. When you begin to hang around with somebody that is not your wife, your husband, you are always hanging, you always like spending more time with that person, not even your spouse. When you feel comfortable with the person more than even your spouse, you are creating trust issue. You are raising trust issue in your relationship. You're trying to prove you are not faithful to your spouse. Sometimes some of those things keep on growing. You may say, hey, he's my friend. He's my friend. Let me tell you, man and woman, no, they be that kind of friend. Somebody told me that. He's a man and woman, no, they be friend, oh. And I came to understand what the person means. It's not as if man and a woman cannot be friends, but it's trying to let us know that whenever a man and a woman is friend, emotion always stay into the relationship. When a man and a woman become intimate friends, not just friends, but intimate friends, you see, emotional entanglement is inevitable. So whenever you are entering into a relationship with an opposite sex, always tell yourself, our emotion can get along in this relationship, whether we are spouse or not. It's very possible for our emotion to step into the relationship. So you guide it or you quit it. Either you are in it and you guide it and make sure that you don't roll with the emotions that will come into it, or you quit, don't even allow it to come at all. So some of us are the things that cause distrust or trust issue in relationship. Another thing is secretive. When you are very secretive to your partner, you are only raising trust issue in your relationship. You are supposed to be open, very wide open. Tell your spouse what you do. You don't go and buy land, purchase land, and say you want to take him by surprise. You want to take her by surprise. And now you didn't tell her. She stumbled over the documents and she's asking, say, hey, I planned telling you before, but I forgot. Okay, she may believe, okay, maybe he forgot. Tomorrow again, he stumbled over you buying an estate somewhere and stumbled over a material that you hid somewhere in a place that she cannot even trace or find it. Then she's asking you, telling her, oh, it escaped my mind. Hey, is that important? You buy things together, you as a person, you now sell it off without telling your spouse. Or maybe you have a joint account where you put money together, then one of the spouse keep withdrawing the money without your consent, without even explaining to you what he or she is using the money for. The money has been kept there for a reason, for the family to make use of it for something very important, and one person is busy withdrawing it without explaining. Most time it happens in the side of men, and I think why it happens like that is because the men always feel, I am the man of the house, I take charge of everything. Even though we are putting our money together, that's what makes me the man of the house. I owe nobody explanation because that is my money. I married my wife, I married her money, I married everything she has ever gotten and what she will soon get and what she's still getting now. So it belongs to me. So I owe nobody explanation why I withdraw the money from our account or my account, and I owe her no explanation on how I spend this money. But every man will want the wife to explain what she used the money, even the money she earned herself, what she used it to do. They believe in accountability when it comes to women's side, and when it comes to man's side, the man is always the man. I hope you understand what I mean. Man is always the man in the house. Always, no explanation. Sometimes this kind of things can bring distrust. It can cause trust issue when there is secretive in relationship. You believe you don't owe that person any explanation, and you're doing things in your own way. The person will be feeling insecure in that relationship. Yes, it's very, very important to know things that can stir up trust issues. Hey, she doesn't trust me. She doesn't trust me. I was handling one devotional one morning with my children in a family devotion, and the topic that I can't remember, but it's all about trust. Okay, it wasn't about trust, but along the line, one of the points talked about trust. And I was explaining, and I told my children that, you see, trust issue. Some people say, hey, they don't trust me. My mother don't trust me. My father don't trust me. My siblings, my friends don't trust me. It is not their problem. The problem is yours. How? And I began to explain to them that sometimes when people do negative things and affect the heart of people, they believe the people should just let it go and begin to trust them. You don't buy trust like that. You earn trust. You earn it. You work for it. And over time before. And I say, if somebody doesn't trust you, don't get angry with the person. Just begin to work consistently on a good character. And when you begin to work, that area they're not trusting you, begin to work on that aspect of your life. Begin to prove to the person. Keep on proving whether the person is trusting you or not. Just keep on. The person is watching you and watching how consistent you are. Even as you're trying to prove to the person will also believe that, are you sure this is not just to make me believe? Are you sure he or she will not change tomorrow? But by the time you continue without failing, the person will not have option than to do what? To trust you again. So stop blaming people who don't trust you. But blame your actions that makes them not to do what? To trust you. So that is why trust is something of two people. It is not something of one person. Even as you're trying to trust somebody needs to work on him or herself to generate this trust, because it's issue of security. When there's insecurity in relationship, is very, very dangerous. Now, why is it very important that trust should be found in a relationship? Yes. Why it's very, very important that we have trust in a relationship. It can decrease what we call conflict. It can decrease what? Conflict in relationship. When you and your friend are always together and you trust, he's open to you, he tells you everything, doesn't hide. There's no hide and seek game in your relationship. He doesn't lie. He's very reliable, very sincere. He can tell you his mind, his feeling, even to a fault. Then you see you will not have anything. He doesn't have anything hidden in his coat. He can defend the friend everywhere. It will help you not to misunderstand the friend over issues. But when somebody is always like, you are friends, and one is always putting pin code, or let me say, apart from being friends, especially spouse, you're a husband or a wife, and you are putting a security code that your spouse cannot access. Sometimes you put the security code because of people around you, maybe your children, but at least your spouse should know your security code. Not because you are hiding it from him. Like me, my husband doesn't know my security code. Let me explain better. Not really because I put it because of my children, but now even my children, they also know it. But I'm a public person. I can drop my phone and people who are working with me can pick up my phone. If my phone is open, sometimes they can access to so many things in my phone which I may not know. So that is my reason of putting the security code. My children, they know my security code. They can access my phone. My husband, I have told him over and over again, but he's not interested. So he always come my phone and put the security code for me. I said, see, I'll even draw it in his front, but tomorrow he'll still come and ask you. Sometimes it's not because he doesn't know it, not because I don't want him to know it. I don't even get him. Okay, for me now, I was the one that put the security code in my husband's phone. So there is this openness. There is nothing to hide about it. If he did not access anything in my phone, he can call my children and ask them, they will open it for him. So it's not something you just hide and keep and say, whenever my husband or I now begin to put a code that no one can access unless only us open, it means there is something fishy inside that phone I don't want the spouse to access. These things can generate what? Distress. I didn't do anything. And yes, you didn't do anything, but you have stirred up issue of trust in your relationship. It can cause conflict. So when there is trust in relationship, conflict decreases. There is a very, very, very minor conflict in that relationship because there is openness. So even before the person explains to you, you have already seen the answer. There's nothing to strive over. I don't know if you're getting me. Then we'll talk about another importance why we need to have trust in our relationship is that if trust gives room for you to do things on your own. When there is trust, you do things on your own. somebody don't scrutinize you. And see, there is this freedom you gain by having trust in your relationship. You can go to where you want to go. You call your parents, call your husband, I am so place, and nobody is there to come and start to check, are you sure he's really where he said he's going to, that he was? Are you sure he went there? How do you even build this to come to this point? You must have done some things in the time past to be able to have this. It's very important. It can make you to be anywhere, and you come back and tell your spouse, I went to so place, and your spouse will not have any reason to start to doubt. Are you sure she was there? Are you sure she really went there? Are you sure she spent all those time there? There won't be any room for that, because it gives you freedom. And see, trust also gives you freedom to do any kind of work you want to do. It makes you to be able to spur into life. You'll be able to make take steps in life, because your spouse trusts that you can handle those steps. He trusts that you cannot miss or mess up. Some husbands don't allow their wives to go to school after marrying them because they believe that their wife may misbehave in school. They go out there. I have seen a couple of people that went with me to do program, and at the end of the day, they came back and their marriage was no longer the same again, because they allowed trust in their relationship to die. So you see, sometimes out of fear, some people begin to nurse this fear of having a problem in their relationship, and thereby stir up distrust in their relationship. Another importance of having trust in your relationship is what? Sometimes when we have a trust in a relationship, it creates a deeper connection, creates a bigger bond between us. It makes us to know each other the better. It makes us to trust each other the better. It makes us to understand each other better. And it makes the problems that will come out of the relationship not to come out, because we already have a deeper connection. The love flows at ease. When there is trust, other good things can follow suit. But when there is no trust, other intimacy and connection and emotional bond that you build over years will go into thin air. Even communication will go into thin air. Yes, these are the things that trust can do in your relationship. Then how do you build this trust? Yes. Number one, you have to build trust. And one of the ways to build this trust is to be involved and engaged when you are discussing with your spouse. Whenever you find yourself with your spouse, be engaged in that relationship. Be engaged in your conversation with him. It's very painful when somebody is talking to you, and at the end of the night discover that who the person is talking to is not even is completely absent in that discussion, or doesn't even care about what he or she says, or is not even involved in the discussion. So when you don't engage in a discussion, or you are not completely in that relationship or that discussion, sometimes you create the impression that the person is wasting his time, and it can make the person not to trust you anymore. So to build trust, even when somebody is talking to you, yes, nod your head, yes, speak to the person, talk to the person, yes, yes, it makes the person feel that there is a connection, you flow. I don't think it's that you are engaged into this discussion. And when somebody is talking to you, just quiet, you just keep quiet. At the end of the day, I've heard you. It doesn't make sense. It means you're not engaged into that discussion. And it makes the person to feel, am I secure in this thing I've said? Have I said what I'm not supposed to say? This thing I've said now, who knows his or her stand in what I just said? Will he or she use it against me tomorrow? That issue of trust will start to come up. So for someone to trust, you have to build up these things by making one move or the other. Another thing again that can make you to build trust is always being there for your spouse or your partner or the person you are into relationship with. Always be there for the person. When the person is in pain, be there. When the person is in weakness, be there. When the person is not feeling okay, be there. When the person is happy, be there for him. When you are always, and they know that you are always there with them, they trust you, they believe you, also trust them. They love you, they give their heart to you. They feel more secure with you. But when somebody is not always there with you, it can generate issue of trust. You begin to think, especially when you are sick. Maybe your man is sick, or you are sick, and your man is not always there. Your man is very busy, and busy at work, and doesn't care about you, how you feel. Or maybe you as a woman, you are busy with your work, you don't care about how he feels. Maybe you care, but you're not always there. The man will start feeling, are you sure he's not praying for me to die so that he'll marry another wife? Are you sure she's not praying for me to die so that he can collect everything I have worked for, so that I can inherit everything I have saved? Are you sure this woman is not having a fishy plan? Are you sure she's not having an affair outside? That's why she no longer care about me. Issue of distrust will come in. So to build this trust, always be there for your spouse. These are one of the things I want to talk about today. And another thing again, to build your trust, be open, communicate, Be open in your relationship, in your communication. Be open, be constructive, and know how to be functional in your conversation. Make sure you speak out, speak your mind. Open up, and in your statements or your communication, let I statement dominate your conversation. Always put yourself first. Take responsibility of so many things. It gives you opportunity for your spouse to give you a listening ear. And whenever you communicate with each other, always be a good listener. It makes the person to feel that you're emphatic about him or how he or she feels. Don't always call the person, want to make the person or be defensive. Whenever issue is brought up in your relationship, it can cause distrust in relationship. Try to build your trust today by being open, by being always be there with your spouse, by always be engaged in whatever they are doing. And also those things that you think that can bring distrust in your relation, whatever your spouse is complaining about, try to see how you can work on them. Those things can be a problem, a blind spot in your relationship, which can affect the trust he or she has for you. So try to work on those areas and try to make sure things are working out for you. Yes, one cannot trust one if you don't trust the Lord. My Bible said in the book of Psalm 118, verse 8 and 9, it said, trust in the Lord with all your heart and put your trust in no man. He said, put your trust in princes because they will fail you. Yes, they will fail you. When you put your confidence and your trust in God, when you trust God, you can trust your spouse. And never you distrust your spouse. Allow them. Make sure you trust them. Allow them to create, to make you believe that they are not trustworthy before you begin to withdraw your trust. Remember, trust is a very risky game. And if you are trusting anyone, always trust the Lord to guide you. Lean not on your own understanding. Trust in the Lord. He will guide you. He will lead you, and you will know how to be able to work with people and work with your spouse and work with your people in your relationship. So many have trusted and they have died. Some have trusted, they have lost it all. So you need God to help you. That is why you don't need to lean in on your own understanding, because you may not see the deeper part of it. So even as you're trying to build your trust with your relationship, always trust the Lord and allow Him to guide your path. Thank you very much for being with us today. It is a wonderful time with you. Yes, on you and your family, how to build your trust in your relationship. Remember, the bedrock is God. Trusting in Jesus, trusting in God helps you to build your trust in other people, and helps you not to trust the wrong people, and helps you to understand what you need to understand, helps you to realize things that are hidden. Today, I know you are happy. I know you have learned a lot. I know you're going home fulfilled, because God will help you to trust even the ones who are broken in your heart. God will help you to build that trust back again and begin to trust again in your relationship, so that your relationship will flourish and have the best place to be the best place to be in this life. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for giving your time to this wonderful program. Always follow us on our YouTube channel on Divinity TV, and also on our Facebook account Divinity TV. Make sure you follow us, and also on our page, and God will bless you as you follow us. Same time next week on this program, you and your family. Watch out for interesting topics and programs on this topics on this program, and your life will never remain the same. Thank you very much for being with us. God bless you.